Welcome to our panel from First Property to Portfolio, Real Investor Stories. I'm very pleased today to be here with three professionals working across development, investment strategies, and international real estate markets. Cyprus today is increasingly attracting both local and international real estate investors. And today it makes our conversational especially valuable because we have people working closely with investors across different segments of the market. And I will invite each of you to introduce yourself, what you're doing, your companies, and Konstantinos, you may start.
So thanks a lot, Christos. Hi, everyone. I'm Konstantinos Soteriou. I'm the CEO of DOMO Properties. And we are trying to become the best customer-first developer, at least in Cyprus, and let's see where we can be next.
Good, so thank you. So my name is Sagi Rozen. I'm the CEO of Arknar Group. We are a real estate developing company here in Limassol that we are also have the internal construction company and we have the management company. Yep. We are focusing in Limassol city center, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure.
Good morning, good afternoon. Sandro Stadelmann, I'm from Austria, on the international real estate market since 2011. We have branches in Dubai, Mallorca, Spain, and now also here in Cyprus. Classical real estate agency focusing on the German market, especially high net worth individuals, ultra high net worth individuals, football stars, and also the founder of Privé app, a new real estate marketplace.
Excellent. So let's carry on our conversation. Let's start from the investor's entry point into the market. I'm gonna start with Konstantinos. From your experience working with investors entering Cyprus, what typically motivates their first property purchase?
So to answer this question is better to see in two different categories. Yep. You have the professional investors and you have, let's say, the opportunistic ones. For the professional investors, that means that they already have investments in other markets. Cyprus right now is a no-brainer because there are three things that every investor has in mind. First is, can they actually get leverage their money, get a loan to buy a property so they can increase, let's say, their exposure and returns. Second is the taxation system of the country. And third are the service charges. Everything goes into these numbers, into this equation, and obviously whether there is a demand to actually rent their apartments or their investments. Yep. Having said that, unfortunately for other countries, fortunately for us, those four parameters are very different. If you are talking about a very strict regulated market, most of the European countries, the tax and the service charge are so high that the investors cannot actually make money out of that. If we go to countries that they are trying actually to restrict the international investments like UK, it's impossible to actually invest. And for the ones that they have investments there, they're trying to get out. And if we talk about Israel, right now we're talking about rental yields around 2%, which obviously, as I said, is a no-brainer to come to a country that offers everything.
From your side, Sagi, are similar motivation from investors you're facing in your experience?
So let's go back to the previous question because I see the market in a different eyes. I started as a lawyer, so I was facing all the, let's say, the processing of doing a deal in Cyprus.
The legal procedures.
Not only the legal, because Cyprus, with all the benefits, and I love the market. I decided to move here 8 years ago with my family. First of all, because it's a sale. Second of all, because of the taxation. So if we speak about the investor, let's split it to two different ways. Let's start from the legal, and then we move to the taxation. People coming internationally, for us Israeli, it's a bit different because We are in Cyprus, but we are based on the British law. So when we are speaking about real estate transaction, we know how to analyze if we are speaking about a private title deed, what is the processing, how I guarantee myself when I do an investment outside my country, what is the processing. In Israel, we have a law that guarantees the money that the investor are investing in Israel according to stages. So we as an Israeli, we are Cyprus company, but Israeli thinking. We teach the investors how to protect the money outside the country. For example, in Cyprus, no law about how to sign a sale agreement. What is the term? Are you obliged to have a permit? Not obliged to have a permit? How I secure my investment? So first of all, from legal perspective, people need to understand that the market need to be changed. It means processing need to be followed. Because people, we as a company, we have zero loans, zero liens. I invested my money personally because I believe in this market. So processing is to give a guarantee to the investor. Sign the contract of sale only when you have a permit. Deposit the agreement to the launch ministry, move to the next stage. Finish the skeleton of the floor, civil engineer approval, architect approval, why people can build not according to the permit. Then facing problem with the title deed in future. So from the legal, need to follow regulation in order to be feeling more protected. From a tax-wise, Cyprus gives the most benefit in Europe. We see it as people who live here. But if we look about the investor internationally, and I will start with Israel and I will move country by country, between Israel to Cyprus have no tax 3D agreement. So it means that any taxes that you are paying in Cyprus, you will pay double taxation in Israel. But you can avoid it. Avoid it is mean doing a transaction, build up the right structure prior to entering into an investment. And I will give an example. Today, if somebody buying a 2-bedroom apartment in Limassol, and let's say the potentially rental here will be 2,000 euro a month. We know that is individually, we are exempt from taxes up to 22,000 euro after the change of the regulation. But we know also that the tax office in Cyprus don't see member of a family under one tax report. So it means husband 22,000 euro exempt, wife are 22,000 euro exempt. So if we know prior from the beginning that the transaction will close the 22,000, when you are investors and you're sitting you are a resident in a place that no have tax 3D agreement, automatically you will put another partner to hold with you the asset. Then if you check the gross to net to the investor, especially from Israel, when you are facilitating the transaction prior, you know that if you go to gross to net, the only expenses in Cyprus is Yassid at 2.65. So when you are coming to Israel and you are coming to the tax office in Israel with the right way of designing the book, you can use the depreciation, you can use some more deduction. So the gross to the net is 12.5%. This is for the Israeli. But from the other side, if we will go, for example, to Belgian market, tax 3D agreement are set. So it means that everybody who is doing a transaction, when they are coming to Cyprus, yes, the scheme of the taxes are amazing. Zero tax on a dividend, zero taxes on selling of shares. But you need to make the transaction in a way, not when you are entering, you need to know your exit strategy. People need to bring them investment back to them, residency one day, rental income, profit, and several. So if we see the legal part, let's say the financial part together, with the right structure from the beginning, you will make a great investment in Cyprus.
Yeah.
Not following legal regulation, you can end up with a property with no title deed in there. Mm-hmm. So for me, this is the most important thing.
Yeah. I want to pass the ball to Sandro. I want to compare this with international market because I know that you are working with foreign investors. Mm-hmm. And I want to ask you how this compares with international buyers evaluating Cyprus alongside other Mediterranean markets.
Yeah, as my colleague here already said, the taxation is a big point. So I sold properties, more than 800 properties in the last 15 years in 4 different countries, in Austria, in Dubai, in Spain, and here. And right now, Cyprus is the best mix because why? First of all, you pay very low tax. Let's say with the non-dom status, 15%. So it makes sense, it's attractive to move here. First of all. Second of all, you have like 320 days of sun. Taxation plus sunny place plus growth of the market. So you make a rental ROI, but also you have the capital appreciation. And I went to Dubai 5 years ago, 2021. I was there when there was the gold mining time. So I bought back then apartments for 2,000, 3,000 euro per square meter. I sold them for double. And we made a lot of money. My investors, me, myself, my family. And Dubai, right now, you cannot invest there anymore because you pay in Dubai right now for a one-bedroom apartment, 600,000 euros for a B area, B location, C location. And here, at St. Parfos Pier, you get a villa with sea view, like with real growth.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's why, and people are more and more aware of that. And I see it also as my job to communicate that to the German market, what they can get here and how much growth is happening right now here.
What is the average rental yield that your investors are asking for here in Cyprus?
Investors, the thing is, like, we have different target groups. We have, let's say, classic investors. They buy rental properties. They buy, let's say, for 200 to 400. But the biggest target group of us is people who actually wanted to buy once in Mallorca, but the Mallorca prices exploded the last 5 years since Corona. And every German, they love Mallorca. They love this island vibe. And now they're discovering Cyprus because they want to buy a holiday home for later, you know, for the retirement.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, along the way, make some rental income.
Yeah, they plan ahead.
That's the biggest target group right now in the German market. It's holiday home. Use it for, I don't know, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks per year. Give the key also to your family members and rent it out the rest of the year.
Yeah.
That's right now, from the German market, the biggest motivation.
Oh, okay. Konstantinos, at what stage do investors usually shift from purchasing a single property to building a more structured investment strategy, let's say a portfolio?
Yeah, so if they're not migrating their investments from another country to make sure that they benefit from that, then it's the people, first they're testing the waters and they're trying to trust the process. And at least from our experience, is they don't even wait to see whether it's the actual rental yield to decide to go to the same. It's right when the purchase is finalized and they trust the process, they trust the company, you get another request, I want 1 more or 3 more, etc. So although we like to say that everything is data-driven and everything is all about numbers, from our experience, we see that it's only emotional.
Yeah, okay, noted. Sagi, you mentioned before about the legal perspective and all of the stuff. Are any other challenges that your investors are challenging in Cyprus let's say, not the legal framework?
Let's speak about, as an investor and me personally, maybe I'm not the right, I like to be involved. Even that we have the group and we have the offices in Israel and in Belgium and in Cyprus, I like to be involved with any customers. Because I like to see how the customer, how the investor see in their eyes, what they need, and what make us success fast and make 15 projects now in Limassol is that we understood what we need and we facilitated to the right investors. So the challenges is people are coming here to Cyprus as foreigner and they think that everything is pink, I will call it. Like in them country, for example, you sit in Germany, you can go to the bank, get 70% loan, you are happy, you do the processing, low interest and several. But we need also to understand, banks-wise, people are coming here with the potential, you want to make an investment, but use bank money also as a loan. They need to know the processing of a KYC funding or the bank, as you see an investor outside Europe that is easy. But let's speak about the Israeli, let's speak about the Lebanese, let's speak of other countries who are investing in Cyprus. They are coming with a vision. The vision is that, okay, for example, in the Israeli, today I want to buy an apartment in Israel, a 4-bedroom apartment in an area that is the northern city in town. It will cost you 550,000 euro and the rental here is 1 to 1,500 euro a month. No income. If they will take it with the loan in Israel, the interest rate is 5.5 to 6, even more. So they give money. they take money from their pocket every month. So instead of making a great investment, they need for the next 20 years to financing a house that this is the old mentality to buy a house for living. No, I'm young, I'm 30 years old, I see the market differently. I started 22. So I will see as a young kids who want to success to go buy a first apartment. But when you are coming to Cyprus and they are coming to facilitate the transactions, the down payment is a bit bigger because the investment in Israel, they was need to give 30% out of the 2 million is a 600,000, 150,000 euro. They can buy an apartment with 50% mortgage of the bank. But they need to analyze. They need to analyze the processing. What is the document required? How the bank see to finance the assets. It's not the only way to come and give a down payment to developers. You know, I think I'm sorry if I'm not the only one, but I think I'm one of the most who's giving a cancellation option in the reservation agreement. We as Orthodox Jewish, we believe that we cannot take somebody money if it's not belong to us. Because people coming with a vision, I will go to the bank, I will take 70% loan, okay, I will make a great investment. If we go one step back, so the challenges is to check everything prior coming to the market. We are doing a lot of podcasts, mostly for Israelis, soon we will have in English, yeah? But when you are coming to check an asset, and my friend here that is also a developer, we want the client to be smarter. As long as the client is smarter, he have more knowledge, he's coming more dedicated to making transactions.
Yep.
So check your assets before, understood the legal processing, build the right structure, build your KYC processing about payments, and understood that if you will go in a straight way in this market, you will success.
Yeah.
And the clients are growing all the time. The market are growing. You know, we believe in Limassol. Even in Limassol, I'm doing specifically areas. Because as a company who is not using financial institutional for investment, I don't want to take a risk. You know, for me to move my team to any other cities except of Limassol, it's easy. You know, as a constructor, you move your team, but have a lot of thinking behind it. You know, when you're buying city center in Limassol, it's like city center of Berlin, it's like a city center of Dubai, it's like city center of Tel Aviv. You know that you put your money in a place that will always, the demand will be strong. Rental income, and let's speak about the worst scenarios that people are facing. A lot of people are, not only young people are buying in Cyprus, many people above 80 are investing in my assets, that they see them pension, that they took them pension from Israel to make the investment. We need to be ready with the investment that if somebody need to cash out,
you are more in residential?
You are cashing out fast.
Yeah.
So when you're focusing at city center, you know that the demand are strong, either for rental income and either for reselling the assets in some point. Because everybody build. Limassol is full of product. It's full of construction. Yes, we can say the tax scheme will be continue, people will relocate to Cyprus. I agree. Only the DOMO, as you say, I agree also. People like to spend money here. Sun, good environment, safety, it's like a Thailand here. But from the other side, plan good, do good on time, and this is the right moment of investing in this market. As I see, and as part of the production, buying more and more and more plots.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You are more in residential or commercial?
So we are focusing on residential. We have some commercial plots that we do mixed use because we believe, we saw it also in Israel. People living in a residential building, it's good to have shop downstairs. Yes, I'm not allowing to have any Indian restaurants that will destroy the building. But as the offices, yes, commercial demand. If we see the relocation of companies that coming here because of the taxation, they need substance. Leave the bank that will come and say, well, we want a substance for bank. People bring IT and any other engineer to Cyprus. They need place to work. To work from home is the old fashion of the corona. I don't believe it will be continued. So as part of the substance, yes, people need offices. But from the other side, look the prices of the offices. You know, the investors, that I'm sure even investors here, look the price, 35, 40, 50, 60, 70 euro per meter. ROI for investor coming up to 7 to 10%. And every demand, because the Forex will continue to come, the payment will continue to come, the fintech, the IP, the IT, everybody will continue to come. Low taxes, European country, banks in Europe, easy to move money after your money are also in Europe. So as a commercial, I see it. But as I say, I'm not a risk company. I see they analyze what my client needs. And my client are the people that they have them 2, 3, 400,000 euro, that they want a pension. They want a way outside them country to upgrade them life.
Yeah.
Pension, 1,500 euro in Israel, you cannot survive. They are coming here, they took them pension, they take some saving, they have 3,000 euro income per month. Their life is upgrade, the environment is upgrade, they're going up. It's like, I give an example, my mom is here. I move all my family to Cyprus. My mom is in my team and all. I see the changes of his perspective as a mother with the kids to come to Cyprus, to grow, have the opportunity, the pension that she have in Israel, here they can alive. And the last thing that is the most important thing to me to speak is the Cyprus market. And it will allow me, the Cypriot.
Yeah.
We as a developer, as me, perspective personally, I'm doing everything for the last 1 year to think what the Cypriot need. With all the respect to the German, that they are strong client, Russian, strong client, Israeli, strong client. They are coming and they are investing. It's amazing how they believe in this market. I sit in my office every day. So let's speak about the local. I'm sure that this panel maybe will be recorded, and I think that this can go higher and higher governmental. Whatever going in Cyprus right now is exactly what's going in Israel 30 to 50 years ago. We see it in the old building that 700 notification in the last 1 month in Limassol in all building that will be collapsed. We call it Tama 38 in Israel, that we as a company already make 5 projects in this way of infrastructure, columns, beams, make the building safety for earthquake. But from the sea also the opportunity of increased densities. We saw it with the program that we did personally. I think we one of the first one that we did in Catholic area. That if you have a land above 2,000 square meters, the government come and say, we need for the local, the rental are so high, we cannot afford to pay. What is our opportunity to pay low amount of rental? So the government came with the skills, we will give you extra density, but give us for 6 years low amount of rental. We see that the market are doing changes, trying to do changes to appreciate the locals. And me personally, in my dream, is to be a company built also for the local that can afford the prices, can live in the good environment, to have all the project with facilities like all the foreigners are enjoying from us. Also the local can enjoy. They give us the opportunity to be in this market. Yep. They give us the opportunity to make money. So we need not to forget them. This is the most important thing.
Yep.
Thank you.
So back to our question that I asked Konstantinos about what stage usually the investors shift from purchasing a single property to make more strategic investment. I want to ask Sandro, how does the investor behavior differ between lifestyle-led purchases and portfolio-driven acquisition in the luxury segment?
Can you please explain again what you mean in detail?
So this transition from buying the first property, the single property, let's say, to think more like a portfolio, to build your own portfolio. That transition in the luxury segment goes the same?
I would not say that. Even like very wealthy investors, let's say ultra high net worth individuals with a net worth than more than 30 million, 50 million, they usually still buy, let's say, affordable properties, but they usually buy portfolios. In Dubai, we did a lot of bulk deals. Mm-hmm. So let's say we have a developer in Dubai. Let's call him Ellington Properties, very good developer. We had the opportunity to show to our clients the best units in the pre-launch area already. And then we had a couple of very wealthy investors who bought small apartments, studios, 1 bedroom, 170,000, 250,000, 310,000, but they bought a portfolio. Yep. So only because they're very wealthy and have a lot of equity doesn't mean that they invest as an investment in luxury properties.
Yep.
In our culture, this is usually not the case. They invest, let's say they invest for their own home in a very nice property, ultra high-end luxury villa, yes. But if they have this in a certain country, let's say in Mallorca, Spain, in Dubai on the Palm, and here, let's say in Paphos or in Peja, wherever, they can say, okay, check, I have my home now, and now let's focus again in building a portfolio. So, in the last 15 years, in these different countries, I always came to a point where I say, okay, the best layout, the best unit is always a one bedroom. That's a theory of mine, because I know for any investor, if it's an investor with 150K budget or 30 million, with 30 million, they just buy, I don't know, a apartment block with these kind of apartments, studios and one bedrooms.
Easy to sell, easy to rent.
That's it. It has to be, we always say in Austria, if the tenant is moving out, the other tenant needs to give him the door into the hand. It's a German saying, I cannot translate it really. But, and that's what you can only do with small apartments, one bedroom and studio, because 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, you don't have this big of a target group anymore. You need to let's say, take a family. And the family already, they use the apartment differently. They cook more, they use it more. You're most likely to have to renovate it after they moved out. Maybe they have a dog and so on. So therefore, even in this ultra high net worth individual market, it's still simple. Real estate is simple. Good location and a good layout. That's it.
If you will allow me to add something.
Yeah, of course.
And I believe that my friend here in DOMO will be agree as a building here in Limassol. Everybody thinks that as a cheap apartment, as long as this is the most profitability. I don't believe in luxury. I don't believe in luxury project. I do luxury project, but they attract investors. In the end, as agree and disagree, as long as the apartment are bigger, as long as the price per square meter is low, as long that you are enjoying from the profit on price per square meter. As long as you are buying smaller, you pay more money. It means that when you are waiting, the increase of the market value to go up, you are just waiting. Not sure that the studio apartment that will be 280 will be tomorrow 350 or 400. I don't think that the market in Limassol, the benefit, the strong of the rental and the strong of the changes are different from Dubai or Georgia and several, that it was somebody buying from somebody and buying from somebody. €1,000 per meter buying from somebody 1,200, 1,400. The apartment changed 16 hand until the final user. Limassol market are not the same. The demand of the rent, family relocation, or single persons, we see it in the rental. I have a single men that are coming for forex, payment, casino. Either they will rent a studio, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, penthouse, as much that he make money. He want to spend his money because this is a way of lifestyle and this is Limassol.
Yep.
Just to clarify, or with all the respect, I slightly disagree.
Please.
Depends how the investor is actually approaching their customers. So I totally get it. A professional institutional investor will only see the numbers and will try to maximize, let's say, their rental yield. However, we see a lot of investors that they do care about their customers, how they live. They do have, let's say, requirements that I want my customers, I want to attract the renters, the tenants that they appreciate the lifestyle, they appreciate luxury. By that, I can charge higher and I can definitely make more space for my investment to have longer period. So it's very different mindsets. We choose to see the investors, we call them sophisticated ones, that they do understand that a more luxury, let's say, investment will attract much higher quality of tenants, and that makes better return on their investment.
Yeah. On that, Konstantinos, I wanted to ask you, do investors, especially the local ones, ask for data? They are more educated about data, or still the deals are closed through relationships? Especially with your company, you have your own clientele, they know you in the market, so...
Yeah, definitely there is not enough data and there will never be enough data. So although that there are a lot of initiatives trying to digitalize this market and make sure that they democratize the information, at the end of the day, the data will just show you the market and will just show you specific areas, how they perform.
Yeah.
So after that, the investor needs to understand who am I buying from, how am I going to be treated throughout the relationship, and who do I really trust.
Yeah.
So data is one thing to spark or let's say narrow down their interest, but at the end of the day, it's mostly, again, back to the emotion that drives the decision. Yes.
Yeah. This goes the same to you, Sagi, with your clients.
My client in the end is split to two. One is the people who want to make the right investment at the right time. So as I say, yes, my project are highly facilities. I do swimming pool, I do gym, but it's not mean that I will sell 2-bedroom apartment for $500,000.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, when you maximize all the cost of allowances of facilities and several, it's few tens of thousands that anyway you will give it in because I want the demand of the rental to be strong. In the end, nobody buying an apartment in order to have, I have an apartment, will be rented or will not be. So yes, as a company, almost every building that we are doing small to bigger facilities. But in the end, we see the market differently. We go with the customers. We started 5 years ago buying some apartment to be renovated. Renovate them, rent them, sell them. 200, 300, 200. First building, as I said, now we started also the brand new. When the challenges for us, it was the investor who buying resale have no VAT, but from the other side, pay now an apartment plus VAT. With all the respect to the market, the yield of guaranteeing 7% that the market are facing, and it's good to speak about it, 7% guarantee, 3-5 years, we give, we do, it's a bubble. That I don't believe in this bubble. I prefer to give reasonable prices and people enjoying from the reality of enjoying from the right ROI, that we present them 200 at least apartment that is under management, that we deliver, that people choose for us to manage, so they can see the actual rental income. So people need to understand that when they are coming to Limassol market, the market is strong. So of course they need to choose first the location, second the project, or maybe first ignore the developer, what is the projection of money, how they are doing this investment. And to take everything into consideration that either they will flip the transaction, many people are buying and selling because if we go with the calculation of the VAT in the hand, the ROI is 6%. Grosso modo depends from where is the client from. No tax 3D agreement can go even to 5 without the right taxation program that they will be doing. So the market is strong. Let's see what will happen in the next few years. We are here. We are also keeping a lot of assets. Every building that we have, we are keeping personally because we believe that the market will grow in the price per square meter. So we want to enjoy from the exit strategy and not only have the money in the banks. And hopefully we will see a great future like happened in Israel to the Cyprus market when a 2-bedroom apartment one day will cost 700,000 euro. And then it means that all the investors who is buying now will enjoy to flip them apartment and move to the next place.
Yeah. Sandro, when international investors want to invest in Cyprus, how you can compare, let's say, with Mallorca or other international markets that are in luxury segment?
In luxury segment,
yeah.
Yeah, as I said, for them, it's important that you have a good package. You know, like the 3 rules everyone knows here in the room: location, location, location. It's the first. And educated investors and uneducated investors, they know that. So location first. And then the German investors, or let's say the international investors I've been working with, they also like amenities. You know, in Dubai, I never sold an apartment without a gym and without a pool. So this is very normal if you buy as a German or a Spanish investor in Dubai. So I focus now here also on developers and projects who offer the same, because I know that's exactly what they want. Because sometimes maybe they want to be in this 1-bedroom for 3 days. They want to go down to the cafeteria in the project. They want to go to the gym. They want to go to the Zen garden. So this is very important, the amenities. As you said, Sagi, it's not only about that you have an apartment. It needs to be, and what I forgot, for example, also, I never buy a property without a good view. So I always was right, actually. I only bought apartments in my life with good views. and I always sold them with a good ROI, good capital appreciation, and so on. This is also a thing of our culture, German culture, because we don't have good weather, we don't have good views. I mean, if we have a good view, then it's mountain view or lake view. So every one of our market, the investors, they want to have a nice view, sea view. So sea view always sells. Yeah. If you can offer as a developer a little bit of sea view, like a real sea view, this is an asset, and an unobstructed sea view, of course. Yeah. I mean, I bought in Dubai an apartment. The agent told me unobstructed, it will stay forever. 2 years later, they made a new island, man-made island, and I lost the view. But I still sold it for more than doubled. So I made a good investment still. But this is here not really possible. So if you buy in Paya and you have this unobstructed sea view, and the neighbors down there with the plots are only allowed to buy, let's say, 2 floors, the view will stay. So that's very important. So view, location, and also amenities.
Are any other expectations from investors changing? Except the facilities of the building, gym, spa, all of stuff.
I mean, the thing is, like the old rules are still applying. Let's say they also want, of course, to have, if they rent it out, a good return on investment per month, rental income, if it is long-term, medium-term, or short-term rental, very important. But also, and that's why you need to buy in a good area, like city center, sea view, close to infrastructure, but also growth, capital appreciation. So if these 2 topics apply and you have a good view and you have nice amenities, wait, one last thing, okay, then I'm really done. I come from construction. I started as an electrician 21 years ago in Austria, in 2005. I worked as an electrician for years before I even started real estate as a broker. So in our culture, it's very important to have a good construction quality. Like underfloor heating, isolation, like a real good construction quality. If they come and and you show them, for example, a completed unit from the developer, and they smell mold, they smell that something wet in there, in the unit, for example, in this ready unit, they will never buy. So it's for Germans, it's very important that they buy, even it's only an investment, they will never live in it maybe, but it has to be a good construction quality.
Yeah. Last question for everybody, guys. Which segment of the Cyprus property market do you believe offer the strongest investment opportunity over the next 3 to 5 years?
I think that we all going to say the same thing, is city center by far. It's the demand is always growing, the supply will never be enough. That's how you get the best investments, and this is what we do.
Yeah,
I agree the same. Results are showing it. We focusing as a company only city center, so we see that the market will go up and up and up. As my friends say, I agree.
Sandro?
Yeah, I see it a bit different. City center, yes, but in bigger cities like Vienna, 2 million population, Dubai, 3.5, Paris, London. Limassol is an amazing city, but it's a small city if you compare it to Vienna, Paris. So therefore, I see it more different. I see it that in prime location next to the sea. Prime location next to the sea, next to good schools, next to infrastructure, shopping mall, boutique, restaurants, etc. This is going to be, I think there is going to be the biggest growth. And I see it more in the Paphos area.
Yes, but you go to the luxury again segment.
No, like also, honestly, Euroskipo, for example.
Yeah.
I see a lot of growth happening there right now. And I analyze this. I'm also buying there right now. I see this area very interesting for end users, for hybrid investors, who want to live in there but also rent it out, but also to investors because of the, it's very close to the airport, 10 minutes. You have to the mall 5 minutes. So I see there, honestly, I love Limassol, but I see there the most growth potential the next years.
Great. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure joining you.
Thank you.
Thank you.